Our preparations for our fight against the Dark Presence is about to happen. In the final story quest, Prepare to Fight, not only for our objectives from Hope and Onyx Winter was to gather allies, but to even require the Splinter Blades. That's right, the Splinter Blades have returned. And if you remember back in Chapter 6, Season 1 Hunters, where the blades were first introduced, the Splinter Blades were created by pieces of the 0-point shard and were crafted at Demon's Dojo on a crafting table. And the first person we used the blades on was Nairos. And after giving the blades to Daigo, he then used the power of the blades to save Nairos from being corrupted by the Dark Presence. He then used the power of the Splinter Blades during his fight against Shogun X in Chapter 6 Season 1's live event to save his sister Jade. Then the Blades made their reappearance in Chapter 6 Season 2's live event, when Daigo used the Mask of Power and his dark magic to open up a Spirit Realm portal to defeat the Dark Presence, because he thought that he can defeat the Dark Presence all by himself to save the island. He then brought the blades out and then ran inside the portal. And since then, during the events of Chapter 6 Season 3 Super, the blades never made their return, because Daigo never used them against us, which is kinda strange, to be honest. But now, the blades made their reappearance in Chapter 6 Season 4 Shock and Awesome. And what's interesting for us to get the blades is when you talk to Nairos, Daigo, and Jade, they revealed to us that this was Hope and Jones's plan, to not only get the blades, but to use them to weaken the veil between the realms of the island of Oninoshima and the Spirit Realm. Which is kind of honestly surprising. And according to Nairos, it's better than using the alternative, which is very concerning and worrisome, but I guess we may not know what the alternative was. Because when you talk to Daigo, not only he willingly gave us the blades, but he told us to finish what he failed to do, which is to defeat the Dark Presence and end its demonic incursions once and for all. And after acquiring the blades, one of our objectives was to return to the first access portal that we saw during our mission in the first story quest, Welcome to the Infestation, when the bugs were still around before they no longer can access the island anymore. That we went back to the portal was, and then we used the power of the blades to reopen the portal, but this time make it bigger as it never once was. And then we now told Hope about the preparations for the fight against the Dark Presence, and then we now march towards the portal to confront the Dark Presence and defeat them once and for all. But now there is one question. During the events of Chapter 6 Season 3 Super, Daigo never used the blades against us, which is kind of odd. So why didn't the Dark Presence let Daigo to use the blades against us? Well, it's because according towards the events of Chapter 6 Season 1 Hunters, Daigo used the blades to save Nairos. So, it seems that the Dark Presence knew that the blades would be a threat to it. It knew that the blades would be a problem, because if the blades were able to use its power to save Nairos and defeat Shogun X, that means the Dark Presence knew that if we require the blades, that we will use them to save Daigo. Which is very, very interesting. That means that the Dark Presence knew that the blades would be a key to its downfall, to its defeat. Because if we required the blades during the events of Super, we would have saved Daigo very quickly. But considering the fact that he didn't use the blades against us when we fought the Kraken, this means that the Dark Presence told Daigo to never use them, because the blades have the same energy signatures as the 0-point shard itself. So that's why we never ever got the blades back, because the Dark Presence knew it would be a key to its downfall, to its defeat. So that's why we never got them back. That's why we never got them from Daigo in the first place, because the Dark Presence never allowed him to use them. So that's the reason why he never used them against us, because it's the key to the Dark Presence's downfall, and for the connection between it and Daigo would have been severed very quickly. So with all that said, thank you all so much for watching this video. Comment down below your favorite things to do in Fortnite creativity, bagging players, Fortnite Ballistic, Fortnite Reload, the arrival of Fortnite Chapter 1 Season 6 OG. Comment down below what your favorite things to do in Halloween, and what's your favorite moments to celebrate Fortnitemares. Subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any videos from me, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye!